Hello, this is Where's Babs, Barbara Talisman. This time I am aboard the Majestic Princess, sailing from Sydney to LA. It's 28 days of beautiful weather sometimes and not. We've gone through the tropics in New Zealand, and I am delighted to have met Randa and Mick on board the ship, and we've become line dancing friends. And I wanted you to hear from them about their traveling life and what led them to join the group of us, many of us of a certain age, who have decided to depart from, I'm not even call it normal, but just depart on a traveling life. So Randa and Mick, welcome to Where's Babs, the podcast.
Thanks Bob.
You may hear from that accent, they are Australian. So let's just get right down to it. What led you guys? I know you told me that you bought a caravan.
Yeah.
And so what led you to that decision? And how long ago was it?
Oh, it's only 6 months.
Okay.
8 months now, and we both have a passion for travel, and we really wanted the caravan life. I'd been wanting it for 5 years, to get out caravan and just travel, even if it's a weekend or something. And Randa wanted to get out and live like a gypsy. So. And I thought, well, that works for me. So made the decision of, when we thought about it quite extensively, whether we're going to, because we each owned a place, and whether we're going to sell both or keep one, sell the other, or rent them both out. You know.
And how long did that conversation take place? Like Rhonda, you said, I want to do something different.
Yeah.
And then how long was it from that conversation to
doing it in there?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So I'm a very impulsive and a go-getter.
Oh, me too.
Proactive. Yeah, so you get where I'm at. So what happened was Mick was already doing it, as he said. For myself, it was a matter of, right, it's doable now. Get your unit renovated. He was already out there wanting to renovate it, but things were sort of procrastinating a little bit, especially if you don't have that incentive or doing it with someone. So a bit of an ultimatum came into play action, and I actually had put a deposit on a combi camper van that came out from Brazil, and it was taking quite a while for it to be manufactured to the Australian standard. In the meantime, though, Mick had realised that I ain't waiting one more day. And I said to him, I'm getting it, and I'll be gone, and I'll see you when I'm ready to come back. So whoopee, he went off, started doing the renovations like there was no tomorrow, bless his cotton socks. In the meantime, we met up with an awesome real estate, and he started to get the ball rolling. As I was on that journey, I just happened to mention to the caretaker of the estate that I live in, and she came back literally within 48 hours saying, someone's been walking through the complex and they'd really love to live here. Do you know anyone who's renting? And I went, me? I'm not kidding.
Gosh.
So cut out the middleman, no real estate involved in regards to that, and rented out that night. I said to Mickey and my children, so my place is getting rented out in the next 4 weeks.
I don't have any place to live at the moment.
Well, actually, I didn't.
She came over to my place.
I thought I was going to live in the combi.
She said, I've rented my house out. I said, oh, yeah, from when? She goes, next week. And I said,
Yeah,
so I
next
suppose
month.
you need a place to live.
Yeah, it was actually in 4 weeks' time because they wanted to get ready, yeah.
So she moved in with me. And,
Yeah, because I thought I'd be living in the combi, which actually fell through to my advantage. It wasn't
Things all happen
manufactured
for a reason, though, don't they?
Absolutely.
Don't you feel like this whole
Absolutely.
travel thing, whether you're
Serendipity.
deciding to go,
Yeah.
or once you get on the road,
Yeah.
or how and where you go, is
flow.
not always to plan.
No,
No.
we're not in control. So we did the renovation. He did
Yeah.
an awesome job renovating it. Awesome.
So I got a good deal on the place. I mean, I bought it for a song and I sold it for a mozza. So I was really lucky in that respect. Had a great time in the market. I
Yeah.
got a fantastic price, and it gave us the money to buy the caravan
Outright, and the car.
and a really good car to tow it with. So I'm really happy with the vehicles. And the caravan's a second-hand one. It's not a brand new one. We thought with the first caravan we'll just get something cheap that we can.
See if you like it.
But it has
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, I mean,
It's got everything.
It's got
We
everything
don't
we
have
need.
an oven, but we make up for it with the barbecue outside, which is literally like the size of this little round
Yeah.
table here.
But it's,
Got our.
But it's good to try before
Oh,
you
it's
invest
amazing. It's like
in...
when you first get your license. Well, not your full license in Australia.
and when you get your first car, you want to get a car just in case you damage it. You know what I mean? So same deal with the caravan. But once again, I've got a decent car to tow it with. So
Yeah.
And then, so you've been on the road 6 months.
19th of October was
Okay.
our first
Yeah.
day of 2022, and we literally got in the car, farewelled, and we decided we were going to do a good 6-7 weeks, and we had that time.
Retired from work the day we picked up the caravan.
Yeah, you did.
So,
and you were serving in the Australian Navy.
I served in the Navy.
Thank you very much for your service.
That's okay, thank you.
Yes.
I was in the Navy back in 82 to 97, so that's like my second family too. So, I've travelled extensively with the Navy. I'm very fortunate to go to the places that I went to. Very fortunate to be able to circumnavigate the globe by sea, travelling in a westerly direction. So I've done the Suez Canal, Panama Canal, the Kiel Canal through Germany into Hamburg. I've swum in the Baltic Sea. I've swum in the Red Sea. The only sea I haven't swum in is the Caribbean, and they told us, no, we can't do that because there's too many sharks there.
Oh, there you go.
But,
so
I've
the travel, though, has been in your
absolutely.
It's
in
veins
my
for a
veins.
while.
Yeah. And I just love to travel. Absolutely love to travel. It's just one of my favourite things, and that's the gypsy in me. And the beauty of that is, once we got the caravan and we hit the road, it was it was so exciting for both of us, and we couldn't figure out what we wanted to put a name on the caravan and everything. And the brand of the caravan is a Jurgens. It's a South African brand, but the model is called a Luna Gazer. So Randa's called it Luna, we want to get a big decal to put on the back of it, and it's going to have the gypsy life on it.
Nice.
It's something
and your Amarok is Rocky.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I've got a VW
Not Rocky and
Amarok.
Bull.
Oh, there you go.
Rocky
Yeah.
That's what I told
And
you.
Randa, you're still working part-time
I am,
from wherever you are, though, right?
Yeah. So I work as a naturopath and a counsellor, Barb, and I have the opportunity since COVID where we can actually see our patients through, Zoom,
Video,
WhatsApp, Messenger, phone consultations. I still do house calls, and it'll be interstate, and they've just got to work it in, and I've got to try and work it in with them as well. Right. So it gives us a reason. If I've got to, need to head off, say, South Australia for the patients I have there, we plan, especially if I'm due for like to do all the physical examinations, then I do it that way. Or if it's in the Gold Coast. The biggest thing with that we've got to just constantly keep in mind is I need to make sure that we have that internet service, because there are times where we head off, especially going inland, it's not available. And there's more and more resources. I don't know if that's the right word, resources, like Starlink is now becoming available. It's still not, because we're even though we're doing this lifestyle, Barb, and we have the freedom to do it, we are conscious from a financial way not to be frivolous. And that even means with regards to the internet service that we have. We're very clear with our decision making.
Starlink's very expensive for us at the moment.
You're using Starlink?
No, we're not. We will be. They've got a great deal in Australia going, but it's basically for this. But really, at the end of the day, this is very much doable in the sense if your budget in that way. Well, we do, because I've still got my home. Yes, it's being rented out. I do have a mortgage, and the rent's covering all of that, but there's also the upkeep of it and so forth. At the same time too, because I've been self-employed for 25 years, when it comes to that superannuation fund and so forth,
superannuation, for those who don't know, is Australia's version of Social Security in the United States, and how they plan for retirement.
Exactly. And when you're self-employed, that's not a given that it
same in the United States.
Is that right? Okay, so you've got the same thing.
Yeah, because if you don't pay in, you don't get out in the end.
Exactly. So we are aware of that, but this life is very simple. It's uncomplicated. There's no fancy dancy about it. And for us, a date night is literally getting the picnic rug, parking the van somewhere, throwing it out. And by the way, we also have our dog with us. Oh. So we've got a little Sasha. So she's 16 and a half years old. She's a Bichon cross mini poodle. She's actually a rescue dog. I've had her since she was 6 weeks. Oh. So that's the other aspect too, is it is doable with a pet, but for some we've met lots of lovely people who haven't been able to take, either they're too large a dog or they suffer from anxiety and all these little things. So yes, I'm still working, and I see my patients. Actually, even on the cruise here, just this morning, I attended to a couple of clients as well, and that's through email.
So I think the traveling thing with internet is really important to stay connected. Whether you have a job or not, you may have family or friends, or staying connected to friends. And I'm a solo traveler. Yeah. You guys have each other, and you also travel with your kids, which is just, we'll get to that in a minute. But I think while, you know, we look at traveling well for less, you know, if that's sort of a mantra, you know, that internet, and I get the money about it, but you couldn't live without it. Or you know, in the States, we go from Starbucks to Starbucks, you know, or you go to a library, or you go someplace where you can at least get it.
Well, that's been a consideration, and Mick has stated that, you know, that I could be doing that, definitely. Yeah. The only factor in my profession is I need to provide privacy.
Oh, totally.
That's right. Yeah. But it is, you know, if you're doing others, I do a lot of health reports and so forth. So, yes, we can use those facilities.